dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. One of the habits we really like us as the Open House Church to develop is the culture of savings. So that as you save and you invest, as you save and you invest, you keep growing financially and you'll be able to get there. So with that, I would like to invite our speaker today. He's a brother whom we have worked with for many years, a brother I love very much, and I've watched him grow and in the corporate world. And Brother Dickson Murianki has been exposed himself to a lot of trainings, and he can be able to speak to us authoritatively and from a point of knowledge. He's a director at Kenya Airways, and he's also the general manager of Kenya Airways Cargo. And I like the way he's transforming himself now. He's starting to do more of trainings on personal finance and how, as an individual, you can progress yourself. I think he can introduce himself more. My brother Kim, you are welcome. God bless you.
Thank you,
Amen.
Pastor.
Amen. Amen.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, just allow me to check. I don't know why it's saying. It's coming? Okay. Okay. Allow me to just log in. All right. So that we can move together, I'll propose not to use the mic, but I'll put it on so that. Okay. All right. Okay. Just a moment. Let me set something. Okay. Sorry for the. Okay, good afternoon. I will not really go back into my introduction. I think it's been done a lot of service. But I want us to, I know David has talked about business and pastors talked about something else, but I want us to be in a fellowship. Yeah? Where, you told me that I contain myself within this area. Okay, thank you. So, and in a fellowship, what do people do in a fellowship? Nataka tujibiane, let's engage each other. We need to have a communication, isn't it? Aya kwanza, which language? Ama tu Kikenya. We mix. Okay, that's good. I'm good with that. So, I want us to have this fellowship this afternoon. And I want to just call it a financial wellness. Okay. I'm not sure what the brother is doing behind me. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. He's doing well. Just tuck it in a bit so that it doesn't trip me. Okay. So, I am not introducing anything new. It's things we know. But the question is, what are you doing about what you know? I will move very fast about my introduction. Guys, excuse me because I think this was done by one of my staff or was trying to customize, so they are coming in a funny way. But that is me. And my wife could not come with me. I thought she would join me today, but I think she got engaged with her niece and she could not come. Out of all those, I think the one which I want to say is number 6, which most people don't know about me about it. I enjoy, looking at things from a very high altitude. And maybe, Pastor, if you allow me later, I'll recruit people to go to Mount Kilimanjaro next year. All right. So, what's our load map for today? All right. So, we want to look at something called the wheel of life. Gurudumu la maisha. And by the way, I came with a bag full of goodies. So if I ask questions and those who will participate will get goodies. So what are you, I didn't say people to raise their hands before I ask a question. So be ready to participate because I want us to have fellowship. So who has any idea of what we are talking about when we talk of wheel of life? Nani? Who can tell us something about the wheel of life? However small you know about it or much you know. Just want to hear. Do we know anything about the wheel of life? Yes, madam. Work-life balance. Okay, that's a good one. Somebody else with another idea of what wheel of or wants to add on what she has said? Okay. Because I know we have been here since morning, some of us. I don't want us to take a lot of time. We'll talk about the wheel of life. And we look at life in a circular form, which has many facets. Maisha yako, sio kuja kanisani peke yake. Sorry, I know, at least I have the latitude of speaking freely because I know the pastors here. I know there are people who know things very well. They have been exposed. So I'll tell you the truth, and they will not feel hurt. You see, you cannot be living in church throughout. The pastors will wonder if there is a problem with you. Yeah? And you cannot even live in the office, ama kazini, throughout. Isn't it? You have many facets of your life. So, and I'll show you just a small thing, but one assignment. I like giving assignment when I'm David. One assignment I will tell you is, if you have a book, draw a circle. I wish I had a flip chart here to work with you, but it's okay. Just draw a big circle. You all know gurudumu la baiskeli vile inakaa. Those spokes. Divide as many as you can. Okay, let's start. Divide 8 quadrants or 8 triangles. They will be like triangles, not full triangles. Just do like 8. Okay? And we start asking, what constitutes your life? What facets constitute that wheel of life? One I've said is the spiritual angle. There is the spiritual you. And that's why you need to spend time in church. You need to spend time in prayer, in meditation, reading the word to grow that aspect of your life, of your will. Another one is the family. Wale mko na familia zenu, you need to, there is aspect of that family which you need to do. Many things about the family. Including even what pastor said about leaving an inheritance. So should be part of it, and I'll show you how many of them, they interact, the various facets. Then there is a facet of your career, what you do, where people say what you do for your living. I'm not sure is the right way of saying it, but let's take it as it is now. Ile unajishughulisha nayo. Yeah? Yeah? Then there is an aspect of it which is tied could be your own personal development or education, and again itategemea uko kiwango gani. By the way, hii fellowship ni ya watu wote. Tuliambiwa anybody from 18, I love something for you. In fact, the younger you are, the more you benefit from what I'm going to present today. Then let me just say that so that the young people who are thinking hii ni ya wazee, jueni, I'm sharing with you wisdom which I wish somebody shared with us when we were in starting our life, after college. So there are those facets. So the other one is the physical you, the healthy you, why you have to sleep and eat well and exercise. This is the aspect of your physical, your physical self and your health. So that's another facet. And then there is the economic or financial facet. And that's the one we're going to focus on more. But I want you to go, you can divide it as many as possible for you to know various facets of your life. And the question I will ask you is, if you were to rank it, how you are, vile unatiria bidii, and you rank them, I wish I had something to draw, but for now you'll excuse me because I don't have, I could have shown you how you would mark it. Do you have whiteboard here? Yeah, bring a whiteboard. That would be excellent because I'm struggling to paint a picture with words. Yeah. But meanwhile, as they bring it, let me. Yeah, the wheel of life. We're talking about it. I'll show you what my assistant came up with. I challenged her. I told her, because I've been mentoring her and training her. I told her, go and draw for me something like that. But I want to show you where the exercise comes. And please don't take those ones. You can pick a bit. And what I like saying is, make it, customize it to yourself. Manake tunasema maisha yako ni tofauti na ya jirani yako. Even two people who are married, even twins, identical twins, maisha yao inakuwa na utofauti. Anyway, where I can just draw to show, and it doesn't have to be very high. Yeah, just put it somewhere where I will be able to. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Yeah. So, as the setup, I was saying, your life is so different. You have your own life. So, yeah, good. Good. I think that's going to be good. And you have the pens, the marker pen. Okay, good. Yeah, good. I think I want to demonstrate that. Na nyinyi mmefanya kazi kuja mlifikia mfuko wangu uko tupu. Kila mtu amefanya kazi apitie hapa. Hivyo unaenda tu haya sawa. Good. Now thank you. Okay, now we can put it up there if it will be serving better for everybody. Please, msikie tena mainge, sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. But is it moving or what? I think it's okay. I'm not going to fight with it. I just want to demonstrate. Please assume this is the wheel of a bicycle or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a very good drawer person. Okay, let's assume in your spokile katikati, just to cover my mistakes there. So, my assignment is wewe uchole yako. Unaweza sema hii ni finance, family, physical, And spiritual, let's put spiritual here. Career, stroke education. What else? By the way, social, yes, you are a member of a society. The social aspect. You know those people who like having fun throughout, they can have fun throughout the day and throughout the week. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, now, sitatumia spiritual because we are in church na mtakuwa very open. Let me use physical. In terms of physical, assuming this is 0 and this is 10, where do you rate yourself? And hii ndio nasema ni yako wewe mwenyewe. Uende useme, out of 10, physical, the way I take care of my health, the way I'm physically okay. And physical, I'm meaning, how do you eat? Do you eat well? Do you sleep well? Do you exercise? You know, are you taking care of that tent that you are given by God called your body? But kwa hiyo tent tutaitumia hapa na tunahitaji you know, we need to take care of it while we are down here, isn't it? Because it's the one which is going to help us even to come and serve God. Ama mnatendanga hiyo, mtakuwa na nyinyi kwa roho. Kanisa tunaweza kuwa nayo kila mtu tukue kwa roho lakini hatuko pamoja. No, we need to come together and we bring together these tents called the body. So, how do you take care of it? So, for example, useme nafikiria niko hapo 4. Sawa? Pengine family niko sawa, niko unasema 70. Finance hapo uchumi imekuwa ngumu, niko 20. Spiritual, I think hapa vile tunafundishwa hapa open niko na karibia 80. Career nimesoma niko hapo. Social mimi napenda raha sana, niko hapo. Aya. Sasa tuangalie ili gurudumu letu tulishikanishe ili linaenda hivi. Sasa hiyo baiskeli itaenda. So, hata kutoka itakuwa shida. Si ndio? That's why we need balance in life. Aya, tumeelewa what I'm talking about, will of life. Now, hii nimesema this is a very hypothetical. Sasa wewe ujiite kama mkutano wewe mwenyewe. And even if you are married, first of all, do you as alone before you do as a couple. Yeah? Ujiulize na ujiweke. Maybe when you meet, you may be very hard on yourself and your spouse akwambia hapana hapa kwa physical pengine mimi naona uko 80 na wewe unajipea 40. You know, but first of all assess what is the essence of this. Then you know the areas that you need to put effort on to bring them up, because the idea si kuleta zile ziko juu chini, ni to skuma hizi so that we get a balance. In a way, there may be some of them may be sacrificed. If you find you're spending all your time kupiga sherehe, so you may need to reduce kupiga sherehe to do some hustling, some you know, what you can do to get more finances or to spend more time with the family. You achieve a balance. Tuko pamoja? So will of life tumeelewa ni nini? Aya, iko swali? Okay. All right, now let me go to what was that. So the aspect which I wanted us to deal with ni finances. But let me ask a question. And I don't know who will assist with a mic. My brother, chukua hiyo mic ndio unisongeshe, ndio nataka kusikia majibu kidogo. Finances. Pengine uanze wewe mwenyewe, watu wasiseme unaonea. Unajipea ngapi? Yeah, out of 10.
4.
4? Mm-hmm. And maybe the question I want to ask it, when we talk of finance or finances or money, what comes to your mind? Aya, patia nani anataka kunijibu hiyo? Nataka kusikia maoni tu. Aya, ndugu Madheka.
How you manage what you have and
and the strategies that you have in place to increase.
Aha. Madheka, wewe uko juu sana bwana. Unahitaji kitu. Come this side. I want to hear from this side as well. Somebody, I want a lady now to give me something. What comes to their mind when we talk of finance? Hakuna yule anataka? Or a young person now? Chukua.
When I hear of money, I think of expenditure.
Think of expenditure?
Yeah.
Aha. Kuna zawadi wale wanajibu vizuri. See anybody? Yes.
How to take care of the money.
How to take care of the money? Good. Thank you. I think now we are in the same class. Somebody, she wants to give me Aya. Tell me.
How you generate like income, the sources of income.
Whoa.
And how you spend them, how you allocate your money.
Pastor, huyu akuja hapa tufundishe na yeye. I want to give her a book. Thank you. No, tuketi sasa ndauliza swali lingine. Hiyo imetandiko ya kutosha. Kaa hapo tu atajibu ingine. Hiyo imetandiko ya kutosha. Thank you so much. So I think we will have a good fellowship. Let me tell you, there's an organization called Financial Service Deepening Kenya, which did a research recently. And their findings were very shocking. Almost 82% of Kenyans are financially unhealthy. 81.7 kama 82, si ndio? Financially unhealthy. Sasa swali ni, what are the measures of financial health? Ni kama nini hiyo inafanya watu waambiwe they are financially unhealthy? Huyu alikuwa anataka kunijibu, tuanzie hapo. Financially unhealthy, ni kama nini hiyo inafanya watu waambiwe they are financially unhealthy? There's a young man who wants to answer me on that side.
Okay, misuse of funds na lack of saving, vitu kama hizo zinafanya na financial.
Thank you. Now, wewe utapata mbili kwa sababu umesema answer mbili. Aya. Yes, my sister.
People wanting to spend more than they earn.
Sasa pastor, ulikuwa unaniita watu wanajua kila kitu. Si niende nyumbani. These people are good. These people know these things. Okay. People spending more than they have. I want to continue that, because if we can crack some of the foundational issues, why is it? I'll come to you, my sister. Huyu anapaswa kuwa tukifundisha naye. Huyu ndio wanajua mambo ya pesa. Okay. Now, let me ask, why do people spend more than they earn? Okay, mwambie nijibu hapo, mpatie tu.
You spend more than you earn because you don't have a budget.
Don't have a budget? Good. Huyo mmeketi naye alikuwa anataka kunijibu pia.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. I like that. Sasa mtagawanya hii nyinyi wawili. Peer pressure. Let's talk about that thing called peer pressure. Na vijana ambao mko hapa. Peer pressure. Sometimes we spend not because we need it. Umeona mtu fulani amenunua kiatu. Unajua sasa pastor, I'm going to betray our age because I'll talk of things which may not be existing now, like a moccasin. Sijui kama kuna hizo ziko siku hizi. David, which ones are now? You know, that's a problem of not being relevant sometimes. Yeah? Na wewe unaamua utanunua hiyo, hata kama sanda kinaukufaa unataka kununua hiyo kwa sababu mwenzako amenunua. Ujui ametoa wapi, si ndio? Those are some of the things, peer pressure. Okay, let me show you what the survey came up with. We will have enough questions, don't worry. Tumesema hiyo overspending. Na sasa zingine ni kulipa bill late. Na myself and Pastor Walker, when we were new in Rongai, tulikuwa tunakaa nyumba ambapo ilikuwa shida. Ungechelewa kulipa bill, mambo ingekuwa ingine. Rent bill, yeah? So, I think it's a bad habit if you know you have consumed somebody's services, nyumba ama gari ama nini ama mboga za ile unachukuanga kwa duka. You need to pay on time. Emotional spending. Okay. Wadada mko? Yes. I won't say much. No saving. Yeah. Then there's another issue, debt. And I'm aware of the SACCO, and SACCOs are good. But actually, I'm not even going to talk about the SACCO debt. Those are not bad debt. There are things, easy up. Nani amepigiwa simu akaambua sijui nani fulani, unajua David Bindio? Mwambie alipe pesa zetu. Wanakuaibisha, you know. Those people who loan money that way, our SACCOs are good, but the predatory lenders. And wengine unakopa ambayo ujui ni ya nini unakopa. Kwa sababu inakopeshwa, unakopa. Let me also say something here about the saving and credit society. They are good. But even them, I think they educate. Good savings and credit society educate you. Know what are you borrowing for? Do you have the capacity to repay? They even help you to plan how you can even take. If you kama unataka kuchukua 50,000 na unaona wewe unafaa 15, nakwambia chukua 15 ukilipa kwanza tuone kama ni biashara. Don't start. So shida ya deni si mbaya, by the way. The richest people operate on debt and loans. So I just want to tell you that. Mtu akona pesa lakini anaiweka as security to borrow money. Wisdom, but don't borrow what you don't need, and when you have not planned. We'll come to discuss about how you to organize. Living above your means, impulse buying. Okay, dead asset, we'll talk about that. Not budgeting. Now, I may not follow the way the roadmap I said, but there are some things I would want to emphasize. What is the biggest fear that we have about our finances? Or concerns? Let me just start there. Let me not say fears, concerns. Let me use concern. Akopi mtu wangu wa mic amepotea. Oh, okay. Kuna mtu anataka kunijibu hapo? Yes. What are the biggest concerns? So, tukusikii?
One of the concerns will be if you have money, maybe you are fearing thugs might attack you, and being broke.
Thugs and being broke. Okay. Aya. Madheka, wewe ndio nitatuma sasa. Mpatie moja, hiyo ingine ushikilie, nitakwambia nani tutapatia. So next one, nataka mwingine niambie concerns that you have about money. Pastor, nitakuja kwako, nataka washirika kwanza wanijibu. Hakuna mtu anataka kunijibu huko? Aya, kuja pande hii maingi no, there's somebody there before you come.
My biggest fear about money is inability to sort my bills.
Inability to sort my bills. Yeah. Umempatia kitu? Huyo muongezee. Shika muongezee. Shika muongezee. Ametaja kitu. inability to sort my bills. Let me say this. Unfortunately, most of us live from hand to mouth. Unfortunately, pahali our finances come from, ikikatika leo, by next Sunday, wengine wetu tutakuwa we have been shaken, we have no stability. And I want to say what, because they are bills. Let me say one of the toughest bill is a medical bill. And you all know about our health situation. And I want to say, I don't have any brief from the government of Kenya, but I will say something which I think is fundamental. This health insurance inaitwa SHA-SHIF, go and register. I don't know how it is working or how it will work, but just register. Just register. If it will work anything like NHIF was working, it is sorted people. But so don't be caught in that situation and say, ulisikia watu wakisema it's not working, and then now you need it and you go. Let me tell you, even the insurance companies, even if you have a medical insurance, the first thing they're asking you is, first of all, this SHIF, ichukue portion yake before they pay. Otherwise, you'll be having a personal medical insurance, and you'll be forced to go looking for money. Then ulize ulikuwa na nini. But they are saying is built on the other one. So if you hear anything from me, I know you've heard many stories about this thing. Please just register. Thank you. So why I was so happy with the answer is not having an emergency fund. One of the things I would want us to take from our fellowship today is, how can you create an emergency fund? And the emergency fund depends with you. Your emergency fund is not like ya Mwema na ya Mbindio na yangu. You are different. We are different people. It depends with you. You need to just ask, what are my fundamental bills that I have to pay? And that's why I'm so happy. Unajua zile bills, kama unakaa nyumba ya wenyewe, unajua rent utalipa. Sindio? I know you can restructure, you can change if things happen, but the fundamental thing is that you have that. Watoto watakula, na hata wewe utakula. Sindio? You may change from eating chicken every week, every day of the week, to eating some, but you will eat. Sindio? Kama uko na watoto wako shule, you know they'll have to continue, hata suspend shule. You may change them from one school to another, but wataendelea. You understand me? So, how do you build your emergency fund? I know I'm mixing many things which so that when I come to the slides which are talking about them, I'll run through them, but I want to address some of the fundamental things. You go and check, what are my must-have expenses? Is it per month, per week? And let's say talk of per month. And say, easy ni lazima. And when you're talking of emergency, unajua hii, you don't want a situation whereby watoto wanafanya ile tulikuwa tukisoma stone soup. Unaweka mawe kwa sufuria ndio ichemuke walale. How many read the story of the stone soup? Okay, yeah. So, watakula. Hata kama ni kukula mboga na ugali, ama you know something else, watakula. So, you get that one and start building a fund which can take care of you for a certain number of months. I don't want to be very specific and legalistic about it. For people who are employed, let me address the employed people. Kama umeajiliwa, ukuwe na emergency fund which can take care of 3 months of your salary. Minimum. That's the minimum. That's the bare minimum. And that is assuming you are very marketable, that within those 3 months you'll have found a job. Reality is that you need to think of 8 months. But you don't have it today, pengine hujafikiria. Usijali, tunaanza pole pole. Haya, tuendelee. Lack of investment. I'll talk about investment. Okay. Kambia, msichana alifanya slides zangu zikakuwa ndefu, but sawa tu. So what today we need to do is to see how do we build healthier financial habits. And why am I calling them habits? Because it's not just financial actions. You need to have an habit. Uwe na tabia ambayo itakuwa ni kama second nature to you. If we talk of saving is kweni kitu umesikia, oh nakumbuka tulikuwa tumeambiwa to save. No, it's nature. If it's investing, you are you are investment savvy. You know what to look for. You are angry for that. If it's just, how to balance your books and the like. So ni tabia. Tutaongea juu ya hiyo. Let me move on. Pastor said, and this is where I want to ask a question. Which verses do we quote when we're about money? Let me talk of money now, not even finance. Mr. Mbaye ako hapo atanijibu. What do you unasikianga Biblia kuhusu Biblia about money?
Ni huko Proverbs.
What does it say?
Huh?
What does it say? Na proverb ni kubwa sana. Ni proverb gani? Aya, ukifikiria wacha tusikie mwingine. Just even if it's a saying, you don't have to quote the verse for me. Yes. Kuja hapa kwa Bwana. Aya, let me hear from Festus.
Money answers all things.
Money answers all things. Thank you for being positive. Okay. Kuja kwa Mwema nisikia Mwema naye anasemaje?
That it is the root of all evil.
Huyu nitampa mbili kwa sababu amesema vile watu wana quote, lakini hakuna pali imeandikwa money is the root of. Amesema vile watu wanasemanga. Yes, that's good. Okay. By the way, Pastor, look for me that verse. I think I have it somewhere, but okay.
A little
Sorry?
sleep, a little slumber, and poverty will come on your way like a something.
Like a thug. Hey,
yeah.
Okay. Kuna wale watu nasikizanga. Haya. Kwa sababu amepata, mpatie hii peremende pia. Sasa there's some verses, and do me a favor, somebody anisomee 1 Timothy 6:9-10. Mwingine atafute Matthew 6:24 na ya mwisho 13, Hebrews 13:5. Mliacha Biblia mlivyoambiwa ni mambo ya pesa tunakuja kusoma. Mlisema hii haihusiani na Biblia. Ziko pamoja. Hakuna mtu amepata? Yeah, just read for me, Pastor.
Nine inasema, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and passed themselves through with many sorrows.
Amen. The love of money, the root of all. Yes. So, the idea is money is not bad. But if you love money and you start serving money, because I want to give a disclaimer here. Whatever I'm teaching, I'm not telling you to every day wake up, dream, think about money, nothing else. No, I told you about the will. It has to be balanced. You can take the money to 10 and the others are at 0, and that will not move. You have to balance it. And money should not replace God. Money should not be your God. Can somebody found Matthew 6:24? Madhaka hujapata? Aya, kuna mtu anataka kunisomea pale.
Matthew 6:24, the Bible says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. He cannot serve God and mammon.
Some books say money. So, serving, and we were told here about service in serving in the service when the preacher was here. We are not to serve money. Even if we are discussing money, it should be our servant. And I'll tell you how money will become your servant and not your master. Aya, Madheka patia huyo amenisomea hiyo hapo. Pastor, umepata kitu? Okay. Good. Let's move on. There are many other. Mbaye tafuta moja ya proverb nimekupatia nyingi hapo unisomee. Na mwingine anisomee one of the looks. Nani anataka kunisomea Luke? Mbaye ndiye atanisomea proverb moja hizo nimempea many of them. Luke, nani anasomea Luke pande hii? Hebrew soma basi kwa sababu wamekataa kuenda mbele.
Hebrews chapter 13 verse number 5 imepotea. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave you nor forsake thee.
Sasa, what I'm saying and what that verse is telling us is, let's not be covetous about all this money. Isikuwe tunatumikia pesa. Hata tukifundishwa mambo ya pesa, isitutoe kwa upendo wa Mungu. Tafadhali, si ndio? Mbaye na ngoja one of the proverbs. Alafu tuendelee. Hizo nimeweka hapo. Nimeziweka hapo, nimekuwekea hapo, uchukue moja ya hizo. Alafu nisomee. Aya.
I have 22:7 inasema the rich rules over the poor and the borrower is the slave of the lender. Translation inasema the poor are always ruled over the rich, so don't borrow and put yourself under their power.
Mesikia, si mimi ninasema usiende kwa Shylock na wengine kwa sababu watanadi mali yako. If you go borrowing foolishly, itakuumiza. Okay, I think we are clear about the biblical principles or foundations. Okay, now this is where it's getting now sweeter. I'm going to talk about 4 pillars in terms of money and finance. The first one is cash flow. Forget the word quadrant. That's from Kiyosaki. But cash flow. When we talk of money, and I know kuna wengine wenu mko kwa biashara, you have heard about income, you have heard about many other things, which I'll talk about. The critical thing in mastering finances is mastering cash flow. Pesa. So, sources of money, tunatoa wapi? They argue that there are 4 main areas which you can classify. E represents employment. Na sitaki mtu aseme ati tulifundishwa tukaambiwa tuache kazi. Hakuna, sijakuja kuambia watu waache kazi. I've been employed for many years, over 30 years now. So I can't come and tell you it's bad. But I think the things we'll be discussing is what do you get from employment? What happens there? So employment depends on your skill, your time. You're actually trading your skills and time for money. Najua usipokuwa ukiwa rikizo, ukikataa kwenda kazi, I don't know how many days. My classmate ako hapa na ni HR specialist. Law inasema aje ni siku ngapi utakosa kwenda alafu unafutwa. 14 days. You are employed, unakataa kwenda. 14 days kwa serikali anasema kwa muhindi ni siku moja. You can hear, so if you don't go, you know that money will not come. I'll favor, she was my classmate. Okay, so employment, you are trading your time, skills for that cash flow. Tuteremke hapo S. S Kiyosaki calls it a source of small businesses. Where you have a small business, your business na wewe ni the same. Biashara na wewe ni the same kwa sababu tunasema tunaenda kwa mwema. Na siwendi kwake nyumbani, tunaenda kwa kazi yake. And especially as Africans, our businesses are us na tukiondoka zinaisha. Si mnaonanga hivyo? Biashara ilikuwa hapo, mwenyewe akiondoka, because we are all in transit, let's agree, and I'm talking to Christians so I can say that, yeah? We're looking forward to transitioning to be with our master. So when you transit, biashara na inaisha. There are other communities who are better in, transitioning these businesses. So small business hata ndio unaonanga waendangi rikizo. Mtu anashindwa rikizo nini na I stop going, money stops coming. So it's a source of income. Sindio? B ni the big businesses where you invest kwa biashara kubwa, iko na systems, iko na processes, iko na watu, inakuingizia pesa. As a owner you get either dividends or whatever you want to frame it. You don't have to be there. I'm trying to figure, I don't know who started Safaricom, if it's an individual. No, it's not an individual, it's a guy. Wow. Okay. I don't know which business I can give easily, which you can relate. Maybe okay. Late Merali and the Samia group, because there's a big conglomerate now. It started as Firestone and everything. Now they are in many other things. He didn't have to be going to Samia to get anything, yeah? But pesa ilikuwa inaingia, yeah? Manu Chandaria, yes, good. And the many industries that he has, yeah? Sorry? Devik, the steel guy. Yeah. He doesn't have to go there for him to, to get his income, isn't it? He can actually go for holiday for 1 year and he'll be getting money. So that's the other thing. Now, wacha tusemazane ukweli. Wengi wetu, majority of us tuko pande hii ya E na S, si ndio? Asijakuja I nitasema kwa I nitakuja, but E na S tuko hapo. We are either employed or we have a small business which depends on us, isn't it? Si wengi tumefika Merali na akina nini Chandaria kuwa na hizo businesses. No problem. Now let's talk for I, and I like that one because hiyo ni equalizer. I is investment. And there's a quote I read attributed to Warren Buffett about, if your money does not work for you when you are sleeping, you'll work until you die. That's what he says. Hizi mbili za pande hii nimesema hizo unafanyia kazi. Now, investment, and we'll talk more about investment, is where you actually getting passive income. Pesa inaingia bila wewe to be actively involved. These are very active. There are two, if you want to the dichotomy. Active income, passive income. So passive income, and that's what I would want us to dwell so much. I'm not an entrepreneur, so I will not tell you how to run an enterprise. Maybe you will get somebody to take, but I can tell you about how to create passive income. Aya. Swali. In Kenya, the last 2 years, actually, 2 years, we talk so much about debt. Sindio? Nani wakusikia, Kenya tuko na deni kubwa, nini? Kuna mtu hakusikia? Nimueleze. Sasa hiyo deni ilikuwa wapi ama iko wapi? Can somebody help me? Hiyo deni ambayo tunasema Uhuru alikopa na Ruto akaendelea kukopa. Si kule ilienda, ni nani alikopwa? World Bank. Okay. Sorry? China. Okay, fine. There are two ways. Again, mambo ni mawili hapo pia. Kuna external, ile wanaenda kukopa huko World Bank, China na wengine, na kuna internal wanakopa hapa. Domestic. Actually, the split is almost 50-50. I have not checked of late, but ni kama 50-50. Sasa hiyo kwa hiyo domestic, wewe umekopesha serikali? Nani umekopesha serikali hapa? I think there are one. Please, no, there's no shame. I want to tell you how things happen. Good. Umekopesha? Through? Oh, through the church. Oh, okay. Yeah, TB. Yes. Okay. Pastor tells me, maybe collectively through the church, everybody has been involved. Let me tell you one secret. Ukisikia, especially government, ukisikia kitu ambayo watu wanapigia kelele nini, jiulize, after all that noise, kwa sababu in government, hiyo noise inatengenezango hapo, watu wanatoka hapo wameomoka. Wewe utatoka na nini? What do you get from that? Ama wewe ni kuja kupiga kelele mchana, mnaongea vile tumekopwa, kumekazwa, kumefanywa. The interest rate. Okay, my pen ilienda wapi? Iko somewhere hapa, unless somebody took it. The interest rates were as high as 18.89% per annum on a bond ambayo hailipi tax, infrastructure bond. 18. Hiyo pesa ukiweka, okay, minimum is it 50 or 100,000? Okay, let me use 100,000. If you put 100,000, unapata 18,899 shillings kutoka kwa government, na watakulipa twice in a year, so 9,000 and kitu na 9,000 na kitu. Sawa. So I'm just introducing what are some forms of investment which you can earn. Hiyo, Damar is my classmate. Hiyo, you don't need to go to Kabete. Hiyo itaingia uende usiende. Ukikaa tu hapa kwako inaingia wakati ukifika. So let's discuss here. What are our sources of income? What are the common sources of income? Cash flow. Let me say cash flow. Manake income can confuse. My friend, ulipumzika, simama sasa nisikie majibu. Mkoba wangu bado ni mzito. Yes.
Sources of income.
Yes.
Employment or inheritance.
Yes. Inheritance is also another one in Africa. It's a good one. Thank you. Aya, mpatie ametaja kitu ambayo we avoid. We inherit. By the way, we also marry into money. We also marry into money. Unaona hapa, afadhali niolewe hii familia kuna pesa, ama huyu jamaa kuna. Yeah, so you do that. But Mensa Otabil, who is a pastor in Ghana, talks of creating streams of income or cash flow. Usitegemee moja. Kama umeajiliwa, hiyo mshahara ni sawa, lakini inaweza isha. Itaisha actually. Wacha niseme inaweza itaisha. Mshahara itaisha kwa sababu you will not be employed forever. Na itoshi. So anasema jaribu create tributary. My brother Festus, mto gani kubwa huko kwenu? Nzoia. Nzoia inatokanga wapi? Where does it start from? Cherengani Hills. If you go to Cherengani Hills, Nzoia is fed by how many streams? Many tributaries, small ones, ndio zinakuja zinaform hiyo mighty Nzoia ambayo inakuja inafagia wakati kume flood. So even you as a person, create those many tributaries which will feed into your river, such that now your river will be massive enough to do things for you. Sawa sawa? Aya. Let me talk about, and we will talk briefly about something. Okay, I need to be conscious of time. Okay. Asset and liability, something else which I want us to understand. Who is doing finance in school or in college? There are people in college here. Okay. They are not doing finance, they are doing what? Anthropology. Law and IT. Okay, all right, that's okay. So now I know only one banker in this place. Maybe there is another banker. Kuna banka mwingine isipokuwa huyo najua. Kuna wengine? Ako wapi anijibu? Okay. Just go to that banker. Aniambie what are assets? What are assets?
I was a bit distracted. So
nimeuliza swali, what are assets? Maybe I kusaidia hapo kama ujareboot. Unajua wanaume we take time to reboot. Patia dada kusaidia hapo as you reboot.
Let me try.
Yes.
Assets are things that we buy. Like a plot, estates. And those ones you can categorize them as assets, cows. And then liabilities are debts. For example, you have a loan, you are paying, so that loan is a liability.
Okay.
For example.
Asante. Wenda kupa peremende moja kwa sababu that's a class definition of asset. Mimi nataka kuambia life definition. Shika umpatie. Now, that's the Festus is here. We were taught by a professor called Professor Nzomo. That's a very good definition of umepatiana. Yeah, asset and liability. But in real life, if you want, and since we are talking about your personal finance, not easily zimeandikwa for corporate. Asset ni anything that you own that generate cash. Inakuingizia pesa. So, Mwema, ile nyumba yako nyumbani ni asset ama ni liability? Yeah, and the liability ni ile inatoa pesa kwako. Inakunyonya pesa. So, magari yao unaona hapa mengi ni liability. Hiyo zote nyingi zi hapa ni liability. Unless kama kuna Uber iko hapo. Uber ni asset. Kama umeingiza kwa Uber, inaweza kuwa asset hiyo. Lakini kama ni yakuja inachomwa na jua hapo, na pengine ukienda ofisini unaipark pia kutoka 8 mpaka 5 inachomwa na jua, that's a liability. It's losing value. Utaenda kuitengeneza you know. So, what am I trying to say? And wengi wetu tulinunua liability tukifikiria tunanunua asset. Na sisemi liability ni mbaya kwa sababu kuna zingine ziko na umuhimu wake. So, kumbuka wheel of life, what is it you want to achieve? Saa zingine you want to go and buy ama ujenge nyumba, mansion kule kijijini ndio utambulike, si ndio? You get social capital from that. Umeweka 15 million inalala huko, unatumianga hiyo nyumba in a year less than 7 days. Si tuko nazo? So the young people here, learn from our mistake. Don't do those silly mistakes. Unless you are planning to go and vie for an MCA na unataka watu wawe akisema kwa yule mwenye ile nyumba, so that you know recognition, name recognition. Yeah? But if it's, ati watu wanajenganga nyumbani. But if you have built a house which is bringing you rental income, that's an asset. So let's know our assets and what are our abilities. Savings and investment. Savings ni ile unatenga unaweka kando, si ndio? But unaweza kuiweka chini ya mattress na ikuje ikuliwe na panya. Zamani watu walikuanga wanaficha chini ya mattress pesa. Lakini kama ole wako kama kuna panya atakuja akule hizo noti, utakuta noti ambazo ukipelekea bankers wanakataa. Yeah? But even savings in a bank, I'll tell you, without discouraging now, and I'll go back to where I talked about creating an emergency fund. Unless you're creating such an emergency fund, banks actually, when you do those savings and they give you those interest rate of 3%, your money is losing value. The inflation in Kenya is above, is it 6% or what? Okay, the true inflation is around 12%. I'll tell you the truth. That's the truth. Where ukitaka kujua, angalia vile umenunua, the basic things you buy. Umenunua hii mwezi, next, just look at it. Utaona inakuja hapo around 10-12%. But anyway, they average it out. Mafuta ijapanda, and mafuta is the biggest thing, so it's average out, tunaambiwa tuko na 4-point-something%. Anyway, the basic thing which I want to tell you is, if you are saving, make sure the interest you are earning is at least above inflation, even for your emergency fund. And if I don't say, remind me to tell people some tools where how they can beat inflation a bit of it. Then investment ni wakati unapanda inamea. Unajua ukipanda mbegu moja ya mahindi, all things held constant. What did they used to say in that Latin word? Ceteris paribus. Yes, things being constant. Itatoka mahindi mmea ambayo itakuwa na cob kama 3. Ndio? Investment is like that. If you invest in the right place, yes, it takes time. You have to water it. And then the harvest comes. Okay, because I may forget, or time may be against me, let me say this. One key to investment is start now. If you have not started, start now. The Chinese say the best time to have planted a tree is 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So if you're not investing, start now. And there are tools for investment. By the way, even facilities like the SACCO, you can accumulate your money through a SACCO. They give you dividends and interest, and then build it into another pool where you can invest. For example, I was talking about the government debt. Kukopesha serikali. Hakuna kitu kitamu kama kukopesha serikali. Hakuna kitu. Nilipogundua hiyo. Yeah. I love that. What wana complain? In fact, me, I'm not very happy with the Bandi. Sorry to say so. Because he has started bringing them down now. The rates at, what was the TB on Thursday? Is it 11 or 10? Actually, it's 10 something. It meant at 10 point something. So maybe 0.6. I can't remember. % from 18. Actually, bill pia zilikuwa zimefika almost 19%. So, mekuja. So unaona kwa nini nasema mimi, yeah, but that's a story for another day. Overall, for the economy, it's good when the interest come down. So, I was saying, your ally in investment are 2 things: time and consistency. There's something, somebody who is a good Dholuo speaker. Typical, what's the name? You speak good one. There's something I add, chaka chaka. What does it mean? Just start, yes. Just start, chaka chaka. Usianze kubishana, just start. Even if it's opening an account with the circle, uanze kusave, ukijua the next thing. But again, I'll tell you the other thing, big thing we need to do is to have a philosophy. What do you want to do? You want to save, to invest, to do what? Okay? Let me see. Now this is like now crowning it. And somebody talked about it and I was so happy about budgeting. Let me tell you. Mtu akikuuliza hii njia inaenda wapi? Unamjibu aje? Sorry, I want to hear answers from you. Hao watu wako na majibu mengine, acha nisikie. There's a sister here mwenye who want to answer me. Kuna huyu ameinua mkono, mwambia acha nisikie.
Njia inaenda Kandisi.
Kandisi? Una hakika? Haya, kuna mwingine hapa, acha nisikie. Sorry?
Kwa mto.
Kwa mto. Unasikia Kandisi kwa mto. Kuna mwingine kule.
Okay, hiyo njia kulingana na mimi inaelekea places mingi. Kuna watu wata divert kwa njia waingie kwao, na wengine watafika kwa mto watavuka, so inaenda places mingi.
We ni kama ulitumwa. Huyo hebu mpe kitu. Huyo ako in the spirit. Yeah? In the spirit, because hii njia inaenda penye unataka kwenda nayo. Yes, pali nyingi sana. Unaenda kwa mto, unaenda Kandisi. Ukienda Kandisi unaweza enda Rangau. Unajua unaweza enda Tanzania na hiyo njia. Penye unataka kwenda. Hata Morocco unaweza enda, ndio pastor anasema. So, now let's come back to budget. Now, budgeting is a way of telling your money where to go. And also determining where the streams of money are coming from. There are two ways. I know most people talk of budgeting from the expenditure side, which is the starting point. You need to track. Pesa yangu inaendanga wapi? Isikue ni kama uko na mifuko yenye mashimo. Ni wapi inasema hivyo, ni Maraki? Kama ni wapi? Pastor, msimu unajua hiyo, kuna ingine nasemanga wale watu wangi zaka ni kama mifuko iko na mashimo. Yeah. So yeah. So now you start by saying, these are my streams. Don't be comfortable with the streams you have. But okay, this is another assignment. Nipeana assignment moja, Damaris, nipeana assignment ya kufanya you will. David atakueleza vizuri vile tulisema, I think ulikuwa busy wewe. But now ile ingine nataka kusema ya budgeting. I know people will tell you they do budgeting, but I want to bring another paradigm in it. Start tracking your expenditure in a very regular basis, not monthly. Monthly is too much. If you can do them daily, I'll tell you, every morning when I do my devotion, I have to list my expenditures for the last day. That's one of the things I do in the morning. Just to track. Wacha niwaambie siri kitu moja. I was shocked when I used to do, this mental budget. Unagonga hiyo, unajua itaenda huko, hii ingine itaenda huko, hiyo ingine inapotelea hapo katikati. Now when I started tracking, hii pesa inapotelea hapo katikati ni nyingi. My goodness. And do you know what you can do with that money? You can direct that money where you want it to be. And you can have that money also help you create other streams for the future. One of the challenge is tunadharau, small expenditures, but they accumulate. Just like the tributaries which bring, zile hizo distributor zile kwa Delta zile zinapeleka maji huko, because like Tana, ukienda Tana Delta, the big Tana, zile maji zinaingia in the Indian Ocean zinakuwa smaller streams, unless when it has flooded everything. But so know where your money is going. First of all, let me tell you, don't go at the kuanza sasa, you are tracking your expenditure and you are budgeting at the same time. I want you to do yourself a favor. Track. First of all, no. I'm not telling you to change anything. Just track. If you do it for 2 months consistently, you will not be told by anybody, na hapa ina kitu. Pesa nyingi unafikiri inaendanga wapi? Wema, unafikiri inaendanga wapi? Airtime. Sorry? Food. Food. Somebody else? Donations. Yeah, I wanted to talk about donations. And hallelujah, we are in church. I want to encourage generosity, but it be generosity that is well thought. You know, is it in Corinthians where Paul said that ile umefikiria, umepanga, and you can plan for generosity in your plan, in your expenditure plan. You can plan for that generosity. Na wachungaji nataka kuwawarn sasa, mmenipea madhabahu, hiyo ndi shida yenu. Please don't emotionally manipulate people. Teach them. And when they are well empowered, they will surprise you. When they're empowered, they will surprise you. Because they have already analyzed the channels are coming and they can plan even for giving well in advance. Sindio? I hope tuko pamoja Madheka, naona hiyo ijengia mzuri lakini niko sawa. But no, what I wanted to say is, not even in church. Let me tell you. Yesterday I was in a function where we were manipulated. Mimi nimeitwa in Kikamba wanaita chadhe. First of all, you know where I come from, and unless okay, now at least I've interacted so much, I know Kikamba well enough to understand what they mean. But if it was somebody else from my Eluro, would think now there is some sacrament. Kikuyu chadhe ni nini? Kiadhe. See that like Holy Communion. Yeah. So somebody says, kalibu na chadhe. Inaitwa ilute. Ilute. Sasa, this man, I know him, I know he's married, sasa, and I didn't know, now what is it that he's doing? So, he didn't even give us details. So, to Kaenda, we went with the colleagues, but I told my colleagues, me, I'm suspecting too, beba kitu, usikuje kuwa embarrassed. Then the MC was at another level. I think I should get his contact and then nimuite wakati when pastor tumepata shamba tunaita watu sasa watusaidie kujenga. Yes, he started haya, akamuita na the wife, akamwambia wewe utapea bibi yako nini? Akamwambia 10,000. Haya, chukua maua mweka. Akamwambia haya pesa, akamwambia niko kwa pesa. Akamwambia tuma nione, atuma. Akamwambia haya, akamwambia bibi na wewe utampea nini? The wife said 5. Akamwambia nataka kuona. Bibi akapatiana cash. Haya, akasema sasa, haya marafiki zake simameni hapa. Sisi tunasimama tu. Tulikuwa nafikiri ni picha tunapigwa. Mtu achukue maua, ule akona 10,000. Ikaenda hivyo mpaka somebody was asking, na watu wa 50 tutafikiwa lini? We left there past 6:30, but anyway it was fun. But what I'm trying to say is, plan your giving. Ata kupeana, ata donations, plan. And you can have a latitude. Depends with what God has called you. Ni serve, where have you been called to serve? If that's your ministry, some of the things you don't think about, they just come and you say, I'll squeeze that one in my budget there. Yeah? But si mtu anakuambia, Mwema, unajua, ile kioski yangu iliangukiwa na mti, sasa tuko na kamuchango, ni kuingiza kwa WhatsApp. Hiyo si mbaya, pengine kioski ndio ilikuwa tegemeo lake peke yake. Ngine nakwambia ile njembe nilikuwa nimeomba kwa jirani ilivunjika. Mchango. The worst thing is this WhatsApp. Okay, one trick, one takeaway. Block yourself. Do not let people add you to WhatsApp. Wewe ndio utachagua. Si kila mtu ako na namba yako anakuongeza. Si block all. There's a function. Hii vijana wanaweza saidia nyinyi kama hamjui. So that mtu anakutumia, otherwise utawekwa kwa nyingi na watakumanipulate. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that, Pastor. But let's talk about budgeting is critical. Track where your money is going. Itakusaidia kujua, is it aligned to my identity? It is aligned to what I want. What do I need? Then when you utaketi sasa kuambia pesa, you will be starting from a point of knowledge. Unajua vile umekuwa. You know, changing somebody's behavior, iwezi change wa mara moja. So we manage in a manageable way. Okay, unasema kama tumekuwa tukikula nyama sana, huyu mtu wa butchery ndiye amekula pesa zetu zote. Usiseme sitaenda kwa hiyo butchery, utaenda kwa ingine. Just reduce. If you are taking 2 kilos, anza kupunguza, uanze kukula 1.25 ama hivi. In a way, in a manageable way, so that you don't shock your system so much. You anza ku reject. So budgeting means, you'll be skillful in a way how you budget it, but more so be deliberate on increasing the streams. Damal, is like I think, have you written a book now? Why? What are you waiting for? You should publish. Yes. You need to, like that, loyalty. You need royalties zinaingia. Na Gladys zako wapi? Gladys, you need to publish book ya watoto. Umefundisha watoto wengine, naona ni wazee sasa na uliwafundisha Sunday school. Kwa nini tusome books zimeandikwa from an American point of view when we have our own people who know our cultural biases and how to do that? And then, nani yule anafanyanga IT hapa? Nani yako in IT field? Nimwambie vile wata collaborate na Gladys. Sasa unaifanya animation. Alafu hiyo kitabu ameandika kitabu, unaianimate in terms of a way that it can be produced and a series. Those are loyalties. Na mbindio. Sasa umesikia sasa? No, what I'm trying to tell you people, we sit on gold without knowing. Tuko na a lot of wealth here. We need to have that culture. Na usijali, ni nani watanunua, andika. Now, me, I'm looking for a colleague we worked with. Nilifanya kazi naye, sikujua ameandika vitabu. Na, later when I'm looking for a book I can use, somebody tells me, refers me to this person. I know them. I know the couple. They are my friends. You mean they have written these books? Anyway, I'm just telling you, there are many things you can do. Pastor, it's no longer, it's never too late to produce a Christian sensible and appropriate drama. Kwa nini tuone hizi vituko tunaanga kwa TV? Kwa nini tusione kitu ambacho tunaweza jengana, tunaweza pause hapo tuulizane swali na hapo ni nini? I want to challenge you guys. You are sitting on gold mine. You can do more. So don't rely on employment. Do things like I'm telling Damaris, your kitabu, even long after you're done, itakuwa. Maybe it can be a book which somebody can even want to adapt into something else. You have had books changed into movies and into whatever. And you paid your loyalties. I want you people to think how you can do that. Festus knows me as an accountant. Others know me as different things. But I've evolved. I've realized I've accumulated so much in terms of experiences, the company can take away their salary, but they cannot take away the knowledge and the experience I have. How can I commercialize that? I have done coaching as I'm a professional coach now. So I'm now taking it to another level where I want to make it master in coaching. And, this is serving. Otherwise, in future, I'll be organizing classes, and I will not even leave my sitting room. I'll do them online, and I'll charge $1,000 for everybody who attends. Yes? I'll produce a book on mastering your money. And mwalimu uko hapo pia. You've taught for long enough to be able to produce a mwongozo. Mrs. Orumbe. Yeah. I'm challenging us. Let's think of how we can now not earn from our time and our energy, but our skills. Tuko pamoja? And especially the young people, you have advantage of time. Let me tell you, investment, as we discussed, investment works on two major principles: consistency and time. And then now there is compounding interest. Hallelujah. That's a miracle in finance. Compounding interest. Compounding inamaanisha si kuweka kakitu alafu kakizaa unakula ile imezaliwa mara moja. Hapana, unaacha inazaana. I'll show you something briefly here. Goodness. Okay. I've talked about sources of cash. Si tumeongea hiyo? Let me show you a typical, okay. Population, salary check. Okay. Hii tunajua, tunataka rent, tuende sherehe, tuende shopping. Mafuta, especially mafuta naonanga nikiweka nashindwa. Nilianza hiyo mafuta ikitoka. David, when you started driving ulikuwa unaweka lita moja na pesa ngapi? Mimi nakumbuka nimeweka 37. Sasa lita moja 37. Nilikuwa najaza DX yangu with less than 2000. Yes. Aya. Anyway. Fees. Especially those who have people in school, fees is a critical one. Although tunambua we have free education, it's a challenge. Mobile data, ile bwana mwema anasema. By the way, another thing. Investors, kama ulikuwa na mia ya nani ama 200 unataka kulipa Pastor nani Steve, would you send him an M-Pesa or will you give him cash? Cash. You're wise. You don't realize that M-Pesa and these other things, na bankers, nisema, you give us convenience, but again it depends. Do I like this convenience here? Because kuna watu tumeketi hapo na niko na 200 ya mwema, baada ya kumpigia namwambia acha nikutumia M-Pesa. Yeah, hapana, pesa iko na kajoto yake. Ikiwa kwa simu haina joto. All right. So, all right. Not talking of investment, I talked about government, and the investing in government has become easy. Zamani, it was so tedious. You had to go to central bank, sign those forms, unaambiwa urudi, then they are stamped by your bank. So many things. Now the DAO, platform has made it very easy. I'm hoping they will bring back this one they had introduced where you could invest low amounts, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's like it was suspended sometime, but that would be more inclusive, increase the inclusivity. Emergency fund, I talked about it. Money market, I want to talk about money market. I know some of you are in it. If you are not in money market, let me tell you the secret. Remove the money which is in a savings account and go into a money market. Even with the same bank, they are offering those facilities. But they don't want to tell you because what they call the spread between ile wana rent na ile wanakulipa inakuwa squeezed. But now, money market, they'll have to match, they have to compete with the insurance company, they have to compete with other people. And I want you to do your own research. How the money market works. Money market follows the treasury bill rate. So their rate will be almost there. If ukiona mtu ambaye analipa so high above, there's a question mark. Yeah, they can give us something small, but so high above, just be careful about it. I encourage people, park your money there. The easiest, in Kenya now, the money market providers allow you to access your money very easily. Very easily. Okay, they tell you, some will tell you 48, 72 hours. I can tell you I get mine in 4 hours. Where I put mine, in 4 hours, I call the operations manager and Mambia, I have an urgent thing, I need my cash. Can you make it before banks close? Na unapata. I don't want to market any, but okay, I have many places where I put, but the one which serves me best is Sanlam. Sanlam, I have a relationship with the head of that department, so I can call her anytime and tell her I need my money, if I need it. So, but I think the first thing I tell people is, first of all, go to your bank, ask them, are you offering money market fund facility? If they tell you yes, nitahamisha hii pesa, nataka hii pesa. Your money sitting in a current account unless you are trading and you are paying checks is a wasteful thing. Pengine ile unasema hii, okay, nimeandika hii check itaenda kulipa rent and another, is wasteful. Because money market, the idea is it pays you interest on a daily basis. They may not give you the money, but they compute on a daily basis. Okay, najua kuna wengine wanaukora wanadanganya, but the CMA will catch up with them. But most of them, they do that. So umesikia where to put your emergency fund. In a build up, inakuwa, at least they beat the inflation and give you something. And then in that emergency ikikuja, you can easily access. Okay. Savings, SACCOs, we've talked about them, and the like. Maybe I've not talked about real estate because it requires you to be clear on what you want by real estate. Kwa sababu unaweza jenga a whole flat, umekopa pesa na umefanya, alafu ukose wateja. And especially with this, inaitwa free housing, inaitwa affordable housing. We don't know how the housing market is going to be. But still there is some place where you can play. The best thing is to know where you want to play in and, start in a way that you manage your risks. Our stock market, unfortunately, it's not been doing very well. But again, let me address the young people. Don't shy away from investing in Nairobi Securities Exchange. But also seek advice. Don't just fikiria, nasikia, HF wana offer right issue, I need to buy. No, just ask, what is this? And what are the prospects of this company? Pastor Walker knows that we have been in some groups where we were investing emotionally. People wanasikia stock inaenda chini, wanasema tuuze zote. I tell them, no guys, this is not the time to sell. Wanasema hapana, tuuze tuende tununue shamba. Na shamba tulinunua imetuletea kesi. Unajua mashamba yako na kesi sana. Anyway, tuombea sana. Kuna moja imelaza pesa zetu hapa Kiseria ni nyingi sana, but Mungu ako pamoja nasi. The case is in court. The ruling is in February. Okay. Kwa hivyo mtukumbuke. Unajua wananiambia rand unashika iko sure. Si wacha hizi makaratasi. Anyway, but that's okay. But stock market is still a good place to invest, and especially if age is on your side. Yeah? Kwa sababu Safaricom itapanda ifike 37, iteremuke to 11. So if kama wewe ni mtu wa kustuka hiyo itakustua sana. Lakini ikiteremuka nunua. Ikipanda uza. That's a trick if you want to trade. You set yourself a target and say, now Safaricom is trading at 15 shillings. And is it good for you to buy? It's your own decision and your investment advisor. If you buy, what time do I sell? You set. Ikifika 20 nauza, that's trading. But you can also invest yako old. And I advise people, especially wale wameisha nywele kama mimi, na zile zingine zimeanza kuwa gray, if you have to buy stocks that are known to pay dividends. Because what you need is cash flow. Sio makaratasi ya kusema uko na shares. And there are stocks in Nairobi Security Exchange which are known they pay dividend. It's not guaranteed, but they have a history and they have a policy of it. I can tell you, Standard Chartered pays dividends almost every now and then. Yeah? So, anyway. Okay. Now, I will not go this. I know this is something which was given, but your situation is different from each other. The thing is, you need to plan the things which you spend your money in. But the key thing which I want to say is, when you get that salary or whatever income you get, pay yourself first. Especially the salaried people. Pay yourself first. Sasa utaniuliza unajilipa aje na mshahara wewe ndio umelipwa? The paying of yourself is putting money aside that will take care of the older you who will not be able to hustle the way you are hustling today to earn active income. So paying yourself is putting money away for investment and for saving and investing. So you need to put aside some money, hiyo inakuja inaenda. And the best way is automate it. Kama pesa yako inaingia from whichever bank, unaweka standing order. Hata kama hujalipa rent, wacha iende ujilipe. Kwa nini ulipe mtu na wewe hujajilipa? Yeah? Ujipende bwana. Si ndio? Okay. Let me see, simple saving plan. Okay. Now, this one, I want to demonstrate something which was done. This is borrowed. I have to admit it's not my calculation. It was borrowed from, I want to give credit where it belongs, from somebody called Rina Inks. Rina was presenting to some group and I asked her if I could borrow some of her slides. This is one of the slides, and some of them I've borrowed. I will show you from her. And she was demonstrating that 5 years. So if you are below 26, at least, and you plan to work until 60, hoping the 60 will be the retirement age, you have 35 years which you can play with. Na vijana nataka hapa muangalie vizuri sasa. Wazee mnaweza kaa kando lakini vijana waangalie. But you can also pick it, you can train your children about it. You are starting at zero. You have that 5 years investment. And I'm assuming you'll get a good package which will pay you 12% per annum. Monthly compounding. I told you two things, time and compounding interest. Monthly, tumesema unaweka ini, which is 10% of your net, 5,000. The calculation, I want to disclaim, I've not verified the numbers well, but I trust the source. It will generate for you 31.8 million shilling. You'll only have saved 2.2, but you'll get 34 million. I wish somebody had told me that when I started working. Somebody is asking a question. Yes, sir. Just give him a mic. Wapi mtu wangu wa mic alipotea?
I was asking.
Yes.
You save where?
Good. That's a good one. Now, 5,000 per month. for that 5 years. Now, what I'm saying, 12% is something you can get either negotiating with an investment banker. You can, even your bank, although banks don't like revealing this information to us, most of the problem, that's why I have a problem with them. Not the individuals who work in the bank, but it's the concept of banks. Yeah? You should be able to do this. My friend, I know maybe you go and they'll tell you, no, today we can only give you 10, but we say over time because it should be flexible. It should be something tied to the market. Over time, you should be able to get this. And the guys who are coming up with various products, I think there are people who are curating products, especially for young people. Most of previously they used to be insurance companies, now they have transformed themselves to financial service. They do many things. They are offering these products. Yeah. And the other thing is, even to start small, even with a sacco, usichukue pesa, wakideclare dividend unaambia reinvest. Yeah? So, nani yule aliniambia najua Kidholuo, somea hiyo.
Kinda umiyo puko yomba poyo. Now, opuk is actually a tortoise. A poyo is a hare. So for a tortoise to beat the hare, it has to be very consistent. Yeah, it's actually, I think it's borrowed from an old tale where the hare would sprint, then get under a tree, rest. Opuk would not rest, knowing it was disadvantaged. So it would continue with the journey. Before the hare knows it, Opuk has gone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly that. What he says is, yeah, na you umeeleza mzuri, wacha bado niko na So, the idea is this. You cannot sprint. Don't just sprint, especially if you realize I wish I'd started. No, let's not have regret. Start where you are. Be consistent. Actually, the summary I'd asked the girl to do is I'd asked her to give me something which says consistency wins over speed. And then she got that saying. So, I think the young people, if they can check, there is actually a test which was done in China about tortoise racing against the air. If you go to YouTube, you'll find it. They demonstrated it. The air will get distracted in the way, and the tortoise wins. So it's a tale, but actually, Chinese wanapandanga mambo mingi sana. They have tested it. Okay. Let me talk about gambling. I want to quick. Okay, what time is it now? Hey, sorry, man. I think we need to end. Okay, let me just talk about gambling quickly. Because gambling, yes, because people think it's a source of finance, especially. And I don't want to say the young people because I will show you statistics which will shock you. In Kenya, we have become a gambling nation. Unajua tuna gambo hii inaitwa kanya kanya, sijui ingine kwa radio, nini kwa football. Let me tell you, they only show you 0.02% of the people who win. They never tell you the 99.8% who lose. And you know what they do? They use, psychology. I know there are people here who are psychologists. They use psychology. They know how to appeal to your psychology. Wanaleta mtu anaongea lugha yenu, analitoa kijijini. Mimi naitwa Jennifer Nakahoya kutoka Shamagol. nilipigiwako simu na ni kweli. Unajua kama huyu ni jirani yangu ameshinda, the whole kijiji they go and start doing the same. They trick you. Ni ile na akisema hivyo tunasema amen. So gambling, let me quickly show you the statistics. Is an evil which is really putting people into poverty. So people don't even want to work. They think the gambling will sort them out. It's not. Some statistics showing that Kenya is number 3 in Africa in terms of gambling, but you can compare wale wametushinda, their business, their GDP, their economy is much bigger than us. Angalia Kenya watu vile wana gamble compared to Nigeria and the like. And then they say, let me get the other statistics. 84% have tested betting. I want to say it's not you, there's everybody. So kusema vijana nyinyi, lazima pia wana kama sasa imeko kwa simu, you bet a lot. Let me just give you some are there benefits from gambling? Let me ask you, we like presenting a fair thing. Is there a benefit? Nani anajua benefit? Unaangukia. Yeah. Yes, Pastor. Hope. Oh, it gives you hope. Okay. let me quickly. There are people who are paid by those betting companies. So, kama wewe ni mmoja wao, si ni kazi. Serikali inapenda hiyo, they are even taxed very highly. Na wana sponsor, unasikia Roto wamechimba kisima, wamefanya nini, si ndio? Yeah, see they do that. Okay, but let me tell you. Ukiwekelea. Wanasema kuwekelea. Si ndio? Haupati na usingizi ukingoja mechi ya nani na nani. Itaenda aje ama ndege imepaa. Then this thing is bringing mental anxiety and depression. Mtu ambaye halali na ako na anxiety, most of the time they will go to things which soothe them, and drugs give you that temporal comfort, and then you become an addict in the process. Unaanza kuabuse. Sasa unajua mimi kazini pale I have had to release somebody because their gambling was interfering in their work, na walikuwa kiibia wateja to feed their gambling. Yeah, your addiction. Sasa simesikia watu wameenda. It's not good. I have an employee. He earns, I think, roughly 120,000, but he has gambled. He has taken, those city loans. The guy has to walk all the way from JKIA to Kayole and back every day. Yes, earning 120,000. Now, the colleagues tell me, anategemea ile chai inakuwa served na mandazi ananunuanga. Can you wonder how productive that person can be? And in gambling. Alafu ikizidi sana, watu wanarudiana mashati. Si ndio? So my message is this. I'm talking of domestic violence and damaged relations. Relations can be damaged even at work or even in church. So, this thing is not good. I want to just say, if you're in it, stop. Stop digging. Kama uko kwa shimo unaacha kuchimba. Stop digging, seek help. It's a disease actually. And I believe that pastors would be able to assist and do counseling, how you get out of it. If you have not gotten into it, achana naye, hakuna kitu na miss hapo. Achana naye. Don't get there. Okay? You have a problem? Nakwambia ni mtego kama wapanya tu unawekewa hapo. So wale unaonanga wachache ni hiyo kulu anagongwa. I think pastor started with this. And I think I will want to end with that, but I need to do a quick summary and tell you what I intended to do and see if we have come closer to that. First of all, it's just to create an awareness on financial health and what it means. And also to just bring the awareness that there are things which we are all being, suffering from, challenged. There are challenges that we have or we are experiencing. But also tell you there is hope. There is hope. Na nikwambie hakuna pesa ndogo for investment. Let me re-emphasize that. Hakuna pesa ndogo for investment. For investment, you just need to start. We said chaka. Yeah? Yes. Just start there and, build, like the tributaries we said. But the idea is start now, be consistent. Like opokna, the tortoise and the hare. So one of the greatest tools to mastering your finances, budget and expenditure tracking. Start by knowing where your money is going, where your money is coming. Manage. Unaielekeza maji, unajua maji ya mto ikiachiliwa itapakaa everywhere, it will not be effective. That's why it follows a channel. So the budget will help you direct, kwa channel ile unataka iende. Na inaweza enda ina generate electricity. Video can tell you how they turn turbines and they become very powerful. Hiyo maji unaona kama mto Kandisi. Ama hii nini inakuwa big stream down there. But the idea is get more streams feeding your river. Okay. Mimi nataka nimalizie hapo na niwashukuru. Alafu niulize kama kuna maswali ambayo mawili matatu naweza jibu. Nikishindwa mbindi watanisaidia. Wakiwa na madheka. Thank you so much. Well, I keep it.
Keep it.
Oh, okay. There was another one there.
Kuna ingine? I can be using this. All right. Thank you very much. Si tumpigie ubana makofi. Sio mnasikia ni kitu imetoka mahali. Sawa sawa. Na fungua hii nafasi swali maswali kama uko na jambo unataka kujua ama swali fulani tusikie. Hiyo mic ikuwe tayari. Ndio peleke mahali iko sawa. Kama uko na swali, huyu bwana msimwache aende hivyo. Ile kitu iko hapa chukueni. Si amekuja kuwapatia? Haya kuna mmoja hapo.
Okay, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on crypto as a way of investing.
Crypto. Meoka, wacha tuchukue ingine. Ingine? Yeah, just not there. Ingine? Crypto. Tunajua crypto ni nini? Tutaambiwa ni nini? Ingine? Yaani mumeelewa kabisa. Syllabus mmemaliza. Yes. Kuna ingine hapa. Kumbe you are still loading, eh? I see. It's loading.
I'm asking, say you have a small business that inaku-earn pesa kidogo kidogo, like kuna continuous flow of cash. Unaweza uza time upata pesa kidogo. So how do you go about budgeting that small money and also saving?
Thank you. Wacha tupate ingine ya tatu hapa kwa pastor. Alafu tutawachia hapo, pastor atakuwa the next lot.
I would like to know about forex trading.
Forex trading. Over to you, sir.
These people are very sophisticated. This is sophistication of the highest level. Forex trading. Now, let me say this. In investment, we say this. The higher the return, the higher the risk. There's an element of risk in investment. Today, I wanted us tuende chini kwa chini, tusiende kupaa juu before we have grounded ourselves. But I will answer the questions which have been asked. First of all, before you are doing the forex trading, which is risky, yes, because you will be sitting here and guessing. In the big banks, they have AI, which is running those algorithms every now and night and day, checking. Japan now wanalala. Okay, Japan maybe wanakaribia kuamuka. They tend, how is the market? What's the currency going to do? What's going to happen now that Syrian government has changed? They do all those things. Do you have the capacity to do that? If you have, and you can know by the fall of Assad in Syria, maybe this currency is likely to gain, so I need to buy it today, or you needed to have bought it yesterday, I'll tell you, go into it. To me, it's a very risky business. I'll leave it to the experts. I'll tell you, even banks, there are banks which, if they're not sophisticated enough and they don't have good network, they lose. So, sembuse wewe. I would say that one, unless you have dealt with the others, you are okay, and una pesa za kuchezea, I would say, let the expert do the forex. Crypto comes the same, and I want to give a disclosure here. I'm a very risky investor. I don't fear risk. That's one thing. So me, if nikisikia kitu kizuri, na kuanga pale. Mapema. I went to crypto when the Bitcoin was going for how much? Good Lord, $7,000. No, not $7,000. Was it 7,000 shillings? It's now at $100,000 here. I think it was at $7,000. But mimi nani nikasema sitaki kununua. Ni kama kwenda sokoni unasema sitaki kununua maembe, nataka ninunue muembe na shamba ya maembe. Unasikia? So I was convinced, let's get into mining. So I invested in some company which was doing the Bitcoin mining. I'm giving you my true story. And by then, I think I put 2 million shillings equivalent. So I wanted to get into it big. Na tukaendelea, and you saw me with my knowledge that a good investor, you need to reinvest. So mimi hata ile ikuwa mind narudisha huko ndio iendelee style hiyo. But I tested, so I needed to open a different account ile ya kutoa ile unatoa ile, unajua hata wale wanalima kuna nafaka ile unaweka ya kukuliwa na ile mbegu unaweka kando. So nika open a different account, nikaanza kutoa kidogo. So I think I got around 0.4 of a Bitcoin nikaweka kando. Hii ingine nikaendelea kuinvest. I think then something happened. Kumbe kuna where there is opportunity pia kuna ukora. The guys who had started that company finishes. What's called BitCrab. Those who will read went with billions and billions of dollars. They were arrested in America and wherever, but now ikafagiliwa hapo. So what am I trying to say? 2 million ilienda. Nilibaki na 0.4 of a Bitcoin, which I sold for 700,000. So at least I recouped something. I recouped something, but I lost. Yes. Problem back na capital yote. Kampuni ilifunga. Hapana hiyo si fole. That's how you build muscles in investment. You lose some, you gain some. My friend, if I did not have that experience, would I share idea? Would I share idea if I didn't get that? You see, it's sharing here so that, sometimes experiences come for a purpose. So, what am I saying? In crypto, yes, it's going up. Now Bitcoin is at the top, the highest it has ever been. And some people say it's because Trump and his, I think, trade secretary are in favor of this. But how do we know they will not change? And Trump is free plan. Could it be a situation they are rallying the market while dispose zao, alafu wakuje, alafu inateremka pa. Sababu niliona ikipanda ikafika 60 ikateremuka tena. So if you have the stability, I'm saying if you have, what do you call it? Stamina. To stomach that. Those shocks. Go into it. But it's not for faint-hearted. I'll tell you that. Niligongwa hivyo na nikasema, I've learned my lesson. Maybe I'll wait and regroup and see. The other question was about the small business and budgeting. I said one thing, if you go, and I've gone to Aberdare where the mighty Tana River and the river starts. They start as small streams. So, hata hiyo pesa kidogo, just be deliberate. Usishindane na yule anapata nyingi, deliberate ya kuweka hiyo kidogo, a proportion of it. I think it will serve you better than kukula, kusema wacha tukule kwa sababu itoshi. So, that's what I can say. Let's get the next set of itoshi wacha tukule. Pastor had a question, or there was a question on this side.
Let me also say something. Hata mimi nilikuliwa 1250 hapo sikaenda. Sababu ya hiyo dada ameuliza pale ya forex. Hiyo forex. Kaambiwa kwamba I think it was the time when the Prime Minister of Britain resigned. So currencies kapandilika hivi, nikaambiwa ongeza pesa ingine. Nikaona hapa siongezi. Ikaenda. Another question hapo. There was another question there. Okay, Pastor.
Pastor, you can ask.
Thank you. I know you are not going into the other levels of finance and investment, but probably if you could mention something on small business. Basically, if you could speak into that, two things. Mainly that the statistics in Kenya show that the last time I checked, almost like 80% of small businesses that open, that they close within 1 year, which I thought was very high. I don't know the latest. But if you could speak to this thing of people getting into business without adequate survey, without adequate research, without adequate feasibility studies, na pia mtu akikaa kupangia hiyo business, many times as small business people, tunakaa na I don't know, we are very optimistic tukipanga. Mtu anasema hii mwezi nikipata faida ya 20,000, hii mwezi ngine 60,000. Alafu we are very optimistic, alafu inakuwa shock baadaye.
You say that I will answer your question, but it's not just in Kenya. Small businesses, the failure rate is quite high, unfortunately. And there are many things. One, the people who start without adequate knowledge of what they're doing, or even the preparation and having the shock absorbers. Because, a big business can, absorb some cost here and there and do that. Small business, inakuwa wewe ndio biashara na biashara ni wewe. If something goes, munaenda na yo. So, hiyo ni shida. So, but I think the thing is, if you're going to a business, don't put all your eggs there in one basket, especially small businesses. And even investment. In fact, the other thing I did not mention is even investing. Usieke pesa zako zote kwa sababu I came and talked of money market. Kila kitu unaweka kwa money market. Hapana. There's a scripture which says, scatter your bread among many waters. Yeah? You spread. So the problem which we have in small businesses is, first of all, yes, we go into small business optimistic, and we should be optimistic, but the problem, we are not realistic. we know we can compute everything. The only sure thing is your cost. You are not in control of your revenue, because utanilazimisha kuja kununua, but lazima ulipe rent, lazima ununue stock hiyo umeweka, lazima ulipe mtu mfanyikazi. So is first of all, and I think it says in Luke somewhere, if you are to build a house, you first of all sit down, you count your cost and you are ready for it. Yeah? So I've not run a small business. Okay, I attempted once, and kuweka siri hapa Rongai na ilienda hivyo. Nikasema wacha hiyo si yangu, hiyo si njia yangu. So it's first of all to be very clear on the cost. And when you are estimating your income, inflow, please be realistic. You are not going to control people who are buying. And sometimes takusurprise nikwambia, ukikuwa ume budget ati utapata 10,000 per day, nakwambia use a ratio of actualization of around 1.5 to 2.3%, and plan with that. Especially the first 5 years. I think yes, ukifungua kitu mpya kutakuwa na msisimuko, watu watakuja the first few days, but inaendanga hivyo. And Kenyans, we are very good. Utafungua, itasisimua watu, and somebody will come there as a customer 2 days, anafungua yake next to you. Do you know why we have that habit in Kenya? Ukifungua saloon, unakuta wengine wamefungua the same. Kienda duka ya M-Pesa, ama walifunganga za M-Pesa siku hizi, sijui ni nini tunafanyanga. Unakuta wote. Then it beats the purpose. So I think it's a challenge. I would really want a pastor, because this is not my strong point. I would even want you to, if you can get somebody who has done it, been there, lost, and known the trick, to come and talk to us, that would be good, because I see it and it pains me. Let me tell you my secret. What I'm saying is, I will do something. I'll do my consultancy and my training, but I want it, if it does very well, it contributes 5% of my inflow. So I have to look for 95% elsewhere. Because if I depend on it, inaweza kuja kuniletea shida nyingi. Yeah? And another thing, sometimes when you get to some ages, you reduce your expenditures. Uhitaji mambo mingi. Naona mimi naenda kwa kinyosi na nyolewa mara moja na 150. Na wiki mbili zinaisha. Sina pesa ya hair grow na nini. So I think it's how you manage your cost. Yeah, that's why I can say, maybe David, you have been in this, you can help us, bwana. Wewe unajua hii, umejua hii.
In school, I was ahead of him before they came with the Damaris, and I did entrepreneurship, the small business now. And small business, I think what we will do, tutapendi hapo, is a different story altogether. Sababu tukianza kuzungumzia pitfalls, yani what makes the business not progress, ni mingi sana. Kuanzia expectations zako pale mbeleni, the business plan, kupita. Sisi tukifungua biashara kidogo, tunakula hapo, hakuna what our brother was saying, no saving. mkate ni hapo. I have a friend of mine who started a business and small business nduga, na alikuwa anakula mkate anaenda nayo nyumbani. Maziwa anaenda nayo nyumbani. Hapo anafaa kufanya nini? Anafaa kufanya nini? Anunue. Afaa nunue na anjilipe. That's why I'm saying it's a different story altogether. Hata hiyo nduka, hiyo sukuma inafaa upangie unjilipe wewe mwenyewe. Si unafanya kazi? So don't take it that it is nichukue mkate hapa niende nyumbani nikakule. Maziwa ndio nitapika. So, what happens is that huyo rafiki yangu alifunga hiyo nduka kwa sababu amekula capital. Yeah? Si ni ukienda nayo nyumbani unakula capital. So naomba biashara doko, we will get time and then we talk. Not far away from today. Sababu is a different story. But what we are saying is, if you have a business, pay yourself from there. With what you are making. If you have a business, usikatakate sukuma hapo na uende nayo nyumbani. Ati useme imetoka mahali, nunua hiyo sukuma. If you have, don't go with the loaf of bread. Nunua hiyo, weka hapo. That is the only way you can manage your inflows and at least know that you are making business. I mean, you are doing some business. Lakini biashara hiyo ni kidogo. Important is out of the profit save something. I like what what our brother is talking about. In any business, make sure that you set something aside so that wakati kunakuwa kumbaya, unajua kuna kuanga kumbaya, yeah? Unaenda kutafuta loan ulipe, kusikuwa kumbaya sana kwanza kwamba ufunge. So management of your finances is very important. Just as our brother is saying in terms of personal finance, even by the way, chukua ile tumesomeshwa hapa uweke kwa biashara yako. Treat that biashara as a human being, and you are a different human being. Like my brother. Yeah, being different. You want to say something to emphasize on that point?
Yeah, actually, you and your business should not be the same. And that's why, kama uko na biashara, tafadhali, anza kujua, if you are spending time, and you will spend time, jilipe, ujiandikie mshahara. Na nataka kuambia, if you want that business to stand, or yanguke mapema, because baadaye kitu kidraga ambacho ni cha kuanguka, afadhali kianguke mapema. Lipa yourself the salary that you deserve. Na hiyo unatoa isikuwe kwa biashara. Unajua mimi I work with Kenya Airways na iko na shida nyingi, lakini mshahara wangu lazima wanilipe. Yes. So nilipe kwanza. So hata hiyo small business yako, pay yourself.
Hapo tumekubaliana. Did I finish the story of my friend? What he did? Ali accuse bibi yake kwamba ni wewe umekula pesa ya biashara. Sasa ilienda namna gani? So we need to be careful as we do business, yeah, so that we make sure that we take care of the resources. Damaris used to run a shop. If you ask our children, they used to call it supermarket ya mami. Mimi, haikuwa yangu, ilikuwa supermarket ya mami. So tukapata, we had employed a young girl to run it for us. And then we realized that this girl amekopesha watu hapo, hiyo street yote, kama amekopesha. You know, we had no choice. I don't like saying it. Lakini siku moja niliona hapa Damaris hakuna kitu anafanya hapa. Nikafunga. Ni mimi nilifunga. kwa sababu nilienda hapo jioni nikaangalia ile imebaki kwa hii imekuliwa, I packed when and carried with a carton, then while hapo kwa sitting nikaenda nikaweka carton hapa, badala ya ndawa nisikusikia baya, alicheka sana. Because yeah, actually that was the issue. That's where I'm going. I realized that we are putting in money here and we are not getting much. That's why, and some of these things, my brother, you are talking about, we didn't know them. So we had to bring it to a close and so that we don't stop, continue losing money. Situfike hapo. Thank you very much. I think, Pastor, you come and pray for us, and I promise all of us that we will have a talk on small businesses. That is your necessity. We won't give you, yeah. But we will start where our brother has been talking about. That's the starting point. You are personal. You know, somebody said, if you don't organize yourself from inside, don't expect to be organized when you walk out there, isn't it? So we organize ourselves from inside, and then when we go out and do the small business, then we are organized. Karibu, Pastor, so that you can conclude this.
Wow, thank you very much. Let's appreciate David. Thank you very much for putting this together. We really appreciate that. He has coordinated that. Siku hii huwa tunakutana wanaume kando, ladies kando, but today we are together for this. Let's appreciate I want us to appreciate our speaker. And thank you. You have done, that's a good attempt, but I want us to give our speaker zile clap za walimu zile zinaitwangwa ni factoral ama ni pactoral? Pastoral. Naitwaje? This one is confusing me. Factorial. Factorial from the factor of 10. All right? Okay, we're going to start with 10 and go all the way to 1. Are you ready? Oh, zinaishanga. 10 is our. Ama tuanzia 8. 8. Let's start with 7. 7 is a complete number. All right? With 7. 1, go. Mr. Boturi amepotea. Thank you so much. For those who joined us online, God bless you so much. God bless you and do you good. Thank you. God bless you.